Welcome to today's topic. What if your parent, spouse, or boss, friend, anyone, very intimate person in your life has a personality disorder? Personality disorders are common than we think. What if they have a personality disorder? The first example is the picture is parent has a personality disorder. The second one is spouse has a personality disorder. The third one is boss has a personality disorder. So let us begin by asking a simple question. Which of these has a greater impact on your life? Take your time. The first one is parent. If your parent has a personality disorder, the foundation is like you are nowhere. You were brought up by a person who has a personality disorder. So lifelong the implications will be there unless and until you realize it, because he or she is your parent, you trust them, you want their validation. So that is not a good place to be, having a parent with a personality disorder. Then the other one is your spouse has a personality disorder, you have your children, then you come to realize that there is a personality disorder. So what if that realization comes? The next one is your boss, by some chance, you realize that your boss has a personality disorder. So this will have the least impact on us. Why? Because we have the qualification, we have the experience, expertise, we can opt for another job. With parent, till your upbringing, you suffer. And of course, you will have the effects of that in your body and mind. Maybe somatic illnesses are common for persons who live with someone who has a personality disorder, but still you can move out of your house when you get married or when you go to study somewhere else. Still not very better, but still you can learn, you can grow, you can grow to a level that you understand that they have personality disorder. What if your spouse has a personality disorder? Are you stuck completely there? Thinking of children, you cannot move out. At the same time, lifelong bondage. So studies say that the person who suffers the most is the spouse. Yeah, the next one. And personality disorders are very tricky. Why? Because they do not have any clue that they have an illness. For example, take narcissistic personality disorder. They are not at all empathetic. And they can be very self-centered, giving importance to self. Or take histrionic personality disorder, borderline, where emotions are not stable. We will deal with each of the personality disorders soon. Just understand, overall, all these personality disorders, those who are suffering, accept them. Everyone will know that there is some issue with this person, but they will themselves, they cannot. If you who are listening this, or me who is saying this, if I have this disorder, you have this disorder, you will never come to know about it. Only others will get an idea that something is wrong with this person. The next one is, yeah, because they do not know. See, anxiety or depression, we know. Okay, I'm going through a depressive phase or anxiety, I need to seek help. But here, personality disorder, the person who is having this disorder has no clue whatsoever. They might be manipulative, gaslighting, doing many things, but they do not regard this as something that requires treatment. So because of that, even if family members take them to a counselor for psychotherapy, do you think they will continue with the sessions? No. First of all, they don't believe they have this. Second, they will not compromise on their whatsoever, and they stop the sessions. So the treatment is discontinued. That means the victims of those who are living with personality disorder, people have to suffer. The way is either exit or find a better way to survive. Let's see what's the better way soon. Yeah, personality disorder people, they are inflexible. They are not flexible at all. They are maladaptive. it's not easy to live with a person who has a personality disorder because you do not know what will happen the next moment. Today, one behavior, tomorrow, another behavior. Consistently, they are inconsistent. So, one thing is for sure, it is said with the narcissistic personality disorder, mostly it is like walking on eggshells. That is, you have no clue what will make them happy, what will make them sad, no idea at all. And their way of dealing with problems or dealing with issues is not in a proper way. It is in a tricky way, cunning way, maladaptive. All strategies they know. Unfortunately, personality disorder people, they use their intelligence in a wrong way. So not easy. Yeah. Their interpretation is wrong. Interpretation of about their self. Some of them may have superiority complex for it, or very some others may feel very inferior, like dependent personality disorder. So whatever it is, their interpretation about the self, about others, about the events, what happens, is all corrupted. And such a person cannot see that it is happening to them. So because their thinking is wrong, thinking, feeling, behavior, all three are connected. We know that. Thinking is wrong, so obviously the emotional response will be inappropriate. There will be a wide range of emotions, or sometimes in some personality, no emotions at all. In borderline personality disorder, they do not know to regulate the emotions. So likewise, emotional response is inappropriate. So you or we, whoever is a victim of someone who has a personality disorder, what will happen to them? See these two pictures. First one is everybody has a center. We know who we are. But unfortunately, by staying for years together with a person who has personality disorder, what happens is we shift from our own self, and because we need to adapt to their changing behavior. So what happens ultimately, we are lost. We are no longer aligned with our own self. It is usually to please others or to hold on to the relationship. We might put different masks. So in the process, like bodily, our responses will be different, and it is called shape shifting. According to persons or society, we might adapt a bit. So that is consciously. Here what it happens is unconsciously we try to keep changing our shapes. That is called shape shift. And this is not for one's growth or progress. This is, if you are doing shape shifting, means you are like particularly being with a personality disorder person, and then you are doing this, understand, it is not a good place to be. Just think, how far have you come in your life, from your school, college days, and now? Just evaluate. Are you laughing? Are you smiling? Are you following your passion? Or did you isolate totally? Because those with personality disorders, usually they lead the show. And unfortunately, they are not the good leaders. So you might end up not socializing with anyone, getting um, totally isolated, being with yourself, with overthinking, helplessness, worthlessness, and so on. So what does the second picture, what is the meaning of this? Yeah, see, breadcrumb. It is like, see, the persons who are victims of this, whoever whoever is the person in their life who has a personality disorder, the persons who are victims of this, who suffer, are usually persons with empathy. They somehow want to be in the relationship. They do not want to give up everything and throw away everything and go. Maximum, they will try to be there. So personality disorder persons understand this, and they throw breadcrumbs. When they realize the person is leaving, they won't allow that. Somehow they will say, no, only you can understand me. Nobody has ever understood me. I am sure nobody can bear with me. Only you can do that. All the things. And then finally, you end up being there. And believe me, a person with personality disorder will not change unless and until, I don't know, when they attend many sessions, when they really want. And that's not an easy thing. Why? Because the damage happens not in late adulthood. It happens either in early adulthood or during adolescence. And the base for all this is how they were treated when they were a child, even before that, when they were infants. So the damage that has been done at that time, changing that all of a sudden, not at all easy. And you being a good person, you want to stick on with the relationship. So whatever small crumbs they throw at you, you will be more than happy. You will hold on to the one or two wonderful moments in your life, and you have a false hope, false sense of reality that things will change for sure. And it is it is just a matter of time that you will be able to correct them. No, it won't happen that way because they are insecure. Such persons who have personality disorders are insecure. So, only persons with secured attachment style, we are coming to that soon, they have the real understanding of emotions and relationships. They want the other person to grow. A person who has insecure attachment style, there is no, they don't trust anyone, they cannot have intimate relationships. It's all about them, not about the other person in their life. So, to such persons, if you express your emotional needs or desires, even the freedom of expression of emotion sometimes makes you feel very low. Why? Because they do not validate your emotions, they do not validate your needs or wants whatsoever, because according to them, the world revolves around them alone. Everybody is for them. Of course, there will be slight changes in each of these personality disorders. This is just generally we are saying. So, why does this happen? This damage, it happens because of faulty parenting or something that happens in their childhood. So, let us see the four attachment styles. Secured. The first one is secure. The rest three are insecure attachment styles: anxious, avoidant, and disorganized. So, what are we looking at when we say attachment styles? When a child is growing up, like the caretaker, mother, or father, whoever it is, how do they address the wants and needs of the child? When the child cries, when the child wants, like, child gives a message, it is time to change the diaper or it is sleep time, how do they address? Is it on time or never or intermittently? How is the parenting? Because most of the time, in many families, we see is when the child is growing up, parents are like in their own world. They don't understand. And when the child starts to learn and understand things, parents will all of a sudden enter into their life and show all the love and affection that they are there for them. But what is most important is the early years of life, not the later years, the early years. Why? Because the roots are formed then, and then the wings. So, roots, by roots, what we mean is the control, the discipline, the autonomy, the power of taking decisions on their own. By wings, what we mean is love, intimacy, setting healthy boundaries, and going for one's own growth, development, flying. And what is a view about the self and others? This is very, very important. How I think of me, what is the perspective I have about me? Is it positive? About others, is it positive or negative? Yeah, that is the next one. Positive or negative feelings or perspective that we have about us, about our own self, about others. Yeah, so let's see. Anxious, check whether you have this attachment style. Again, it is not easy to understand on our own. We can see in others very clearly. In us, we cannot see unless we have a third person viewpoint. And that will come through awareness. So, what is this? Flickering candle. Easy way to remember anxious attachment style is flickering candle. See the candle. So, the root is strong somewhat and it is flickering. What does we mean by this? Here, the needs are not always satisfied. In secured, it is always satisfied. Here, Sometimes the child's needs are attended, sometimes not. So sometimes yes, sometimes no. Sometimes the child cried immediately, it was attended to, and sometimes the child cries, and nobody is there. So this is inconsistent parenting. So what happens is the child will constantly look for validation. When the child becomes an adult, there will be a fear of abandonment. Will my spouse abandon me? Because my parent has abandoned me at times. So I will cling on to that. Before it was to parent, now it is to the spouse or any intimate person in such a person's life. So fear of abandonment will rule them. What if fear rules a person? The person will try to please others. The person will shift from his or her own self and do anything to keep the relationship working. So, and any person can take advantage of such a person because they have a pure heart. Their intention is good, but they have a deep need of validation. So, such persons will be oversensitive to others' moods and actions. And yeah, here an interesting point is they see everyone else positive except the self. All are good, all are positive except me. So, such people just need to change that a bit and express their anxiety. See, um, this is what it makes me feel when you say like this or something. Express their anxiety very clearly and openly, plus set clear boundaries. That's it. This is one of the easiest attachment styles that can be reversed. Yeah, this is a very difficult one. A lone wolf. This attachment style is called avoidant. See here, what has happened is we already spoke about the four parenting styles. Remember the neglected or negligent parenting, permissive parenting style? Yeah. So a lone wolf. What does a lone wolf think? It is, I need my freedom and independence. Here the roots are not strong, the wings are not there. Huh? Sorry. So lone wolf means such a person will value the person's independence more than anything. There won't be empathy because there is no trust at all. Such a person doesn't trust others. Why? Because there was nobody with me when I was growing up. So only I am there for me. I have to be there with me. I can trust only myself. So I don't trust others. I see all others as negative. Only the self is positive. Not a good place to be. Love and intimacy very difficult with such persons because they don't trust others. See, the damage has already been done during their childhood. So what can be done when your spouse or parent or boss turns out to be having this attachment style? Simply, we can't do anything. Because they keep others at a distance emotionally. Physically, they might be close, but emotionally, they keep a distance. And the next one is, yeah, another, another not a good attachment style is disorganized attachment style. This is, this can be correlated to a stormy sea. Stormy sea. The tides, we do not know. There is no regularity, irregular tides up and down. With, hmm, when the sea is stormy, we do not know what is happening. We only know there is turbulence. So, such people do not feel secured at all. Their ego is fragile. They are insecure. So, they will continuously look for multiple sexual partners. They might have anxiety, depression, but they are not going to show it out. They have a super mask. They are negative about others, mainly about self also. So, this happens when persons are raised in an abusive or traumatic environment. See, parents are fighting. There are many things, disputes happening in the family, and parents might think the child is very small, very young. No, they are taking everything, and then later it will be difficult to manage them. So think, if your spouse or the person who has a personality disorder has this attachment style, how much can we bring a change in them? No, you're just wasting your time and energy in trying to safeguard the relationship. Yeah, that's a bitter truth. So next one is, so, and sometimes, see, not just in some personality disorders like narcissistic personality disorder, you might have not just one insecure attachment styles, two, three insecure attachment styles. So that is also possible. Yeah, the best one is secure attachment style. Strong tree. The roots are strong, the wings are spread out. So the needs are satisfied. It is authoritative parenting. There is discipline, there is love, there is control. Remember the kite? Yeah. Healthy boundaries. The child will be able to set healthy boundaries because the child, during the upbringing days, the child was given the freedom to say no, and the child has heard from parents, no, not now, later, later. So the child is ready to set healthy boundaries. So when such a child becomes an adult, they will have beautiful, lovely relationships, healthy relationships, because they value themselves, they value others, they value their autonomy, the power to make decisions, and they value others' autonomy. They will not encroach into others' boundaries. They will be very understanding. So now coming to the next part, that is, yeah, this is very interesting. Relationships, masters and disasters. What do we mean? Where are you? Four in each we have. Are you in the masters category or are you in the disasters category? Just evaluate. Again, yeah, disasters of relationships. This is actually one door opens into the other, the next, and next is like that. Okay, one to two, two to three, three to four. One, two, three, all three together lead to four. So first door of, this is a sure sign of disaster. That one is criticism. Yeah. When we criticize someone, because we do not know a better way, that is why maybe we criticize. But when we do that, what happens is we are opening the first door of a sinking relationship. So criticism is we are assassinating a person's character. When we complain, it is about the issue. Criticizing is we are dealing with the person as a whole. So it will be like this: you plus a negative statement in the form of blame. You are always like this. You are never listening to me. Huh? So there is a blame. So is it a good place to be? To be at the recipient end of blames and criticism? No. But the person who says, unfortunately, cannot stop it. The next, if we continuously start criticizing, then what happens? It goes into contempt. Contempt means insulting the person. So here the insult is like this: you are, and then a negative statement. This can be not just verbal, but through body language, through eyes. We convey the message that this person is like, you are ugly, you are a fool. Through the whole facial expression, body language, and words, you corner the person. So that is contempt. Again, not a good thing to do. The next one, the next door is defensiveness. It is actually responding to criticism and contempt. The defensiveness will be like, oh no, I couldn't do that because I was busy. I was totally, I. See, instead of taking even a part of the responsibility, the person starts to defend, and in the process, the relationship worsens further. And the fourth door is the worst, stonewalling. We already spoke a bit about it. Stonewalling is there is an issue at hand and the other person is looking for solution. So what a disaster of relationship, what such a person does is withdraws without solving the issue. I'm not going to talk about this. Finished. That's all. Walk away. Walk out. Finished. That is stonewalling, leaving a vacuum or void in the relationship. Stonewalling is not a good thing to do. Instead, you can take some time and come back, resolve the issue. So check, do you have any of these? Next one, what is the way out of the first door? Instead of attacking the character, say, see, there it is, you and negative. You are always like this. You are never. So here, the way out of this, if you have a tendency to say that you and negative statement, make it as I and positive statement. I feel this is not right and I want this. Instead of saying you are never keeping the room clean, I I don't like the feel when I see a messed room, so I want the room to be clean. So I plus the want and need is what we need to emphasize, and this comes only with practice because that is we are already habituated to that. That's not easy to change, but not impossible as well. Way out of the second door is what was the second one? It is contempt. That is called the sulfuric acid of love because that one contempt is enough to spoil a relationship. So in contempt, in insults, what happens is the respect is gone. So here what we need, talk respectfully instead of hostile humor or mockery or sarcasm. Make a habit of talking respectfully. So that is it for the second one. Way out of the third door is I am defending. Instead of defending, take some responsibility. So that will make a huge difference when it comes to the stability of the relationship or the harmony in the relationship. The last one, way out from door four, from the fourth one is, yeah, this is a good one. Stonewalling means I am not resolving the issue. I'm just exiting. I'm just quitting, escaping, running. So instead, take creative silence. And once you realize you understand, get back, readdress the problem. Do not escape. So these are the disasters of relationship. Now, the masters of relationships. Yeah. Who are the masters of relationships? They are usually gentle, kind, they have lots of patience, they are very friendly, they are understanding. See all the good qualities. Plus, let us see these four. They communicate well, meaning if they are angry, they are able to convey it in a good, respectful way, not shouting, throwing things. They just have an eye to eye contact and talk to the person openly. See, this is something that is hurting me. They communicate well. And then the most important part is they revisit the hurt feelings. If they are the ones who caused hurt, once they are back to their senses, they revisit the hurt, they bring up the incident, they talk about it, and if they have to make an apology, they do not hesitate, they just do that. Next, they are empathetic. Yeah, there is an understanding, they are flexible, so that's a good place to be. And yeah, this is a big one. I would like to highlight this. In many families, there is a belief that once the children are grown up, the romance and sex part takes a back seat. No, these are very important to keep the intimacy in the relationship. So romance, prioritizing romance and sex happens only in healthy relationships. So they are the masters of relationships. Then next one is, yeah, such relationships get better and better with time. Not they get stuck or it gets worse. And no, both grow together from A to B, B to C, C to D, like that. They both grow together. And there is trust and commitment, and there is lots of humor. In disasters of relationship, the humor is hostile humor, hurting the other person. Here, the humor is a good humor. Both have fun. How to differentiate the hostile humor and the normal fun and laughter, that kind of humor? It's easy. When you just pinpoint to that person, hey, you're making fun of me, something like that. If it is a real laughter, they continue to laugh because they are laughing innocently because that thing makes them to laugh. They are not trying to hurt the other person. It is not intentionally done. With the hostile humor, the moment you say that what you are doing is not right, that very moment they close their mouth, they shut their mouth. So that is hostile humor. Check this out if this is right or wrong. So that is it with disasters of relationships and masters of relationships. So coming to the final part. Yeah, personality disorder people have insecure attachment styles, any of the three that we said. they constantly end up being the disasters of relationships. So see, if somebody is at the disaster of relationships end and you are trying to be the master, or you're already there and you're taking the burden on your shoulders, so at that time what happens is they will try to push you away from your center. So whenever you are in such a relationship, hold on to your truth, hold on to yourself no matter what. When they gaslight you, when they make you upside down, hold on to yourself. Hmm? Understand, okay, they are like that. That is not me. What they say about me is not the real me. Hold on to yourself and be clear on your boundaries. Be clear on your boundaries and do not personalize, do not argue, do not over explain. Most important, do not personalize, do not take it personally. Somebody is targeting you just because they have their own supply. Personality disorder people, they want to feel good because their ego is fragile. Hmm? They are insecure. So to make them feel secure, the only way they know is to make you feel insecure. So do not fall in the trap. Hold on to your truth. Set clear boundaries. Do not personalize whatever they say. Authentic self. Yeah, this is very important. Check if you, what we mean by being in the center. Hold on to yourself means hold on to your authentic self, integrated self. So when you're in your integrated self, you, the disintegrated parts you have owned, you are just one, then you will have the awareness. Even to have the integrated self, you need to have awareness, and awareness is one thing we need to have lifelong. Awareness of one's own mistakes, awareness of reality about you, about the other person, about the world, reality of emotions, whether it is real emotion or racket feelings, and then expression of emotions, awareness that I need to express my emotions. The other person might suppress me. No, my emotion, I have to take the responsibility how to express that without falling sick. Flexibility, yeah, authentic relationships. We need authentic when you are connected with yourself, or to have authentic relationships, flexibility is very important. Flexibility doesn't mean you are drifting away from your boundaries. No, you still have healthy boundaries and you're flexible because it is your choice. Objectivity, yeah, third person view, very, very important. In between, just check that, check your behavior from a third person viewpoint so you will understand, okay, things are going well. Am I progressing or not? Then alignment, we already spoke a lot about it before. Alignment of thoughts, feelings, and behavior. Remember the triangle, very, very important. What I think, based on that will be my feelings and my behavior. If sometimes there is a mismatch, I am not being in my authentic self. What do we mean by be clear on the boundaries? About everything, about money. This is for this. What am I going to do? Have clear boundaries about money, about your time, where you're going to spend your energy, about the household chores or about sex, about everything in your life. Have clear boundaries when you have a person in your life who has a personality disorder. Question time. Sulfuric acid of love is, it comes in one of the disasters of relationships. I'm not going to say that. What is the antidote for criticism? Criticism is the first one. What is the antidote? Okay, sulfuric acid of love is contempt. Antidote for criticism is, what is it? What do we say? Um, I, criticism means I, you plus negative. So antidote will be I plus positive. So saying a positive statement without blame, not putting blame is the antidote. Then the third door of disaster is, which is the third one? Defensiveness. A lone wolf represents dash style. Lone wolf. I avoid everybody. I am alone. So it is a avoidance style. Antidote for defensiveness is responsibility. Take responsibility. So that is it for today. Yeah, one more activity for the week. Give permission to express your true emotions with acceptance and with grace. Permission to express emotions doesn't mean I can shout at anyone, I can do anything. No, do that bringing in the rational mind as quickly as possible, because when we are emotional, it is an emotional mind. It is an art to learn to bring the rational mind into picture. So when the rational mind comes, there is lots more acceptance and grace. So let that be the practice for the week. Thank you. And soon we will deal with the 10 personality disorders. So that's it for today. Thank you. Yeah. Have a great time. Bye bye.